America was built by dreamers and innovators, people like Edison, Henry Ford, and don't forget Steve Jobs, but it's the inventors and entrepreneurs around us like you that make America great. This month, LegalZoom is celebrating innovation by making it easier for you to, well, innovate. File a patent application to protect your invention, incorporate your business, or form an LLC and launch your dream. Get help with trademark and copyright applications and more. LegalZoom has helped customers file for 100,000 trademarks and helped tons of businesses get started right. Just call or visit LegalZoom.com, answer some straightforward questions, and they'll take care of you from start to finish. Celebrate innovation with LegalZoom, and for a limited time, get a special price on trademark, copyright, and patent applications when you enter Mohr, M-O-H-R, in the referral box at checkout. Protect your creations and launch your dreams at LegalZoom.com today. LegalZoom can provide self-help services at your specific direction, or they connect you to an independent attorney, but they are not a law firm. LegalZoom.com, enter Mohr. Squarespace, an all-in-one platform that makes it easy to create a professional website, blog portfolio, and online store. Squarespace includes hosting analytics, 24/7 support, and even includes a free domain name when you sign up for a year. Start with clean, beautiful templates, and then easily customize it to look exactly the way you want. Squarespace has a ton of drag and drop functionality. For example, if you want to add a picture, you add an image block and simply drag your image from your desktop to your site. Adding videos, text, audio, and other blocks of content is just as easy. Squarespace takes care of all the technical stuff so you can focus on making great content for your website. With responsive design, your website automatically scales to fit perfectly on every device. Every Squarespace template has its own customized mobile view. It's $8 a month for the standard plan, $16 for their unlimited plan, and $24 for the unlimited plan and the online store. For a free trial, go to squarespace.com/jmoore, and when you're ready to purchase, click J-A-Y-5 under pricing at checkout. Use the offer code J5 for 10% off. That's J-A-Y and the number 5, or go to fakemustache.com or podcast1.com and click on the Squarespace banner on the More Stories page. Squarespace, everything you need to create an exceptional website.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
The book Maybe Will Have You Back is hysterical. The Life of a Perennial TV Guest Star, my friend Fred Stoller.
Hey, thank you, Jay.
Welcome back. I really, when your friend hands you a book, it's like, oh no.
Or a script.
Yeah, it's a burden, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But you handed me the book, and when I mean, my wife too, like literally first page, you go, this is hysterical.
Wow.
It is. I mean, the fact, like behind the scenes about when you were a guest star on Murphy Brown, behind the scenes on Friends, the weird subculture of being an extra and trying to curry favor with other extras, and the weird dialogue that happens behind the scenes. Like, I heard they like this. I heard they like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you really break down the auditioning process really great.
Thank you. I hope this is, my dream would be that extras are on the set reading it, because, hey, this is what you got to know, to do the thing. But, yeah, it's maddening, the desperation. Like, I remember the first time I was on a show and they were saying the hope, like, I was in the cafeteria, and they always have to eat, right? So they'll bring me back. I'm the mailman. So anytime there's mail, you know what I mean? And any link to the show, I'm the cousin. We always need cousins. So
go ahead.
So little did I know I'd be that guy for the next 20 years. Hey, they need more bartender. They got a drink. I was this crazy bartender. I got a shot, please.
They make jokes about him drinking too much. Obviously, they'll bring me back.
Right.
The first time you were a regular on a show was pretty much an all-black sitcom. Florida Evans.
Right.
What's her real name? Esther Roll.
Esther Roll.
Yeah.
And no. The joke was, Yeah, it was the only time I was
no,
a
it wasn't
regular.
a black sitcom. You were on Amen. I'm getting confused.
No, I did a guest spot on Amen, but I did
Yeah.
do one with Florida Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the joke was a black guy came in and I had to scream and run because he came into the deli. And, of course, when big black guys come in, you hide under the counter. And then I was so naive and the desperation in Hollywood where I had an acting coach. You remember that?
Yeah, I want to talk a lot about your acting
she
coach.
said if you don't get coached, you're going to get written out. So she was coaching me on how to high five because that's all I had to do in an episode. The black guy goes, "Yo, Shell." She goes, "All right, do the high five, but put the hand up higher." So yeah, so
you actually spent hundreds of dollars
on acting coaches
But specifically in this one episode, you had to high five, and this lady kept going to her house in the San Fernando Valley to high five the right way.
Oh yeah, well every episode she instilled fear in me that you'll get written out. She goes, if you don't get coached, you'll lose everything I taught you. So there was one episode where all I had to do was high five, and just do it again. All right, that's no. Let's do the high five. So I had an out of body experience where I knew it wasn't right. I knew, but you just instilled with fear, like in anything. And
what's a note she would give you about your improper high five? What did she say acting wise?
We just did it over and over. I like the elbow straighter, and then just kind of and jump up. And I don't remember.
And none of this is a joke. This really happened.
Yes, I'm so pathetically. So,
you were just gullible at the time and desperate. Like you said, there's a desperation.
In L.A., there are so many jobs that are built on fears. Acting coaches, some managers, I love yours, but a lot of them, they're babysitters. Oh, no, you got that because of me. You know what I'm saying? So, feng shui people, it's just people want, something, and it's just, I'm doing something wrong. Buy this book. You know what I mean? And acting coaches, for me, like she instilled in me that, like one time I had a date, we were playing bingo. And then I had like a last-minute audition. I remember I'm old when you beeped in. And I, oh, my God. So, but how do I do an audition without getting coached? And I begged. And everyone looked at me. I was like a wild man. I left my bingo cards and the date alone and ran out to get a coaching session in. Like, this guy's giving up his bingo cards? So,
are you dating the elderly?
Well, no, that was my idea. And... to play bingo.
Fred, why can't everyone be like you on a podcast? You just sit down and you just bring it.
Oh.
So many people sit exactly where you're sitting, and it's like
Really?
a job interview. They just go, uh-huh.
Oh, really?
Like I saw you on Artie Lang's radio show. You and I have been texting back and forth for well over a month.
Trying to get back on.
And it's been my own... I've been very lazy about it, and I'm like, yeah, Fred, yeah. And then I saw you on Artie Lang's show, on his radio show that's also on TV, and I was like, oh, my God, Fred. Yeah, he's got to come back immediately. Like, you were so funny.
I got all neurotic because you said, you're coming back, and then you wouldn't answer my emails, and I go, did I say something to offend Jay? Did I turned down Talk and Walk-In to be on your side. I feel I'm loyal to you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why would you turn down anything? Just to be friends with one?
I was nervous you'd get mad. But no. I thought, no, I'm just kidding. But I wouldn't feel right about it. I feel that like how Ray wouldn't do Leno because Letterman gave him.
Oh, I can't do Leno.
Yeah. Oh, they wanted him, and he just I
don't know. I will say this: you said the key word, desperation. It seems like when you're in the middle of the pie, all you do is eat and complain, and when you're outside of the pie, you just nibble and it's desperate. You're just like a starving rat nibbling on the outside. But the more you get fed, the more you complain.
Oh my God!
But when you're on the outside looking in, you have the most to complain about. But it's more maybe because there's so much ambition in your soul, and you want so much what's inside. You're willing to do whatever
we're
it
all
takes.
saying, "What am I doing wrong? What should I do? What
see what you're saying. What am I doing wrong? When you're on the inside, when you're in the middle of the pie, eating in 360-degree increments, you're like, "What's everyone else's problem? I'm so great. Why aren't I working more?
No.
Why am I fat?"
The best job I had. One time I was a regular on Handy Manny animation, and I was all with these animation millionaires. They go from one Handy Manny to another, and I felt so out of place. They're talking about their summer houses, their bathrooms for $40,000.
Go from one Handy Manny to another.
Yeah,
you sound like a Jewish mom.
One to another.
Oh, these NBA players and their Asian girlfriends.
They make a sound. They go to another.
But are they happy?
But all right, so they have the easiest job in the world. You don't shave or shower. Maybe I don't know. You come in, you read. Oh, Manny, I'm scared. Again, they're in. I wasn't in. And what's the one thing these millionaires who have complained about? They had one thing they complained about in animation.
I don't know.
Oh, movies are done by Hollywood stars. We're great. That was the one thing that they complained. What do you need? Brad Pitt. We're better.
Because we're the real actors.
Yeah,
you don't even
yeah.
see our bodies.
Right. But I will say one thing.
Yes, sir.
They complain an animation about like I said, like, oh, these are just actors. Yeah, they don't care if it's James Gandolfini. But some of these guys, they're not distinctive. They're great and talented, could do 7,000 things. But sometimes you need a Joe Pesci because he's who he is, a distinctive thing. They're not their own persona.
Let's not forget that you and I was more starstruck that you were the tree on Oswald the Octopus.
Oh, wow. I remember bumping you to the Grove.
And you, what was the tree's name?
Steve the Tree.
Steve the Tree. And you, Weenie and I, best friends forever. I watched more episodes of Oswald.
The Parade?
The Octopus, yeah. Every episode.
Oh,
and,
my friend said, hey, he sent you something, Dan Yacarino.
Dan Yacarino, because of Fred Stoller, sent me an original copy of the book, Oswald the Octopus, on the inside, wrote to my son Meredith, all the love, a nice thing, and he signed it. And I got to tell you, that was one of the coolest gifts I've ever received in my life. Because when you're sitting with your baby, watching these things, and it's not like a shoot 'em up, like
well, that's why it didn't come back, because it's not in your face. It's
it was very sweet. Like we're just.
Well, it was funny because I didn't know Jay Mohr, and I bumped into him at the Grove. He goes, "It's a wonderful show." You don't think Jay Mohr is saying the words "wonderful"? You think, hey,
that's the old Jay Mohr that used to have sex with the stool on stage every night.
You know when the first time I met you?
No.
This is a funny story. Let's not laugh. Maybe we'll judge for that, Fred. All right, it's not laugh out loud, but it's humorous. It's no, whatever. I felt like at Tower Records, see, when I stopped doing stand-up, I had no social life because I couldn't go to clubs anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore. So I would do the trifecta. I listen to sample music at Tower, then go to Book Soup, then watch videos at the Tower Video, and then
you were a triple threat of consuming.
I would feel I'm interacting because I'm listening to sample music, and remember those things?
Yeah.
So I was getting Sinatra. I love the days. Now with iTunes you could get anything. I fell in love with Sinatra. I was in a Korean deli in New York, and there was I have been a rover, never found a home. So I remember the old days, like Elton John's Amarina. You couldn't just, from Dog Day Afternoon, you couldn't just, what is that? You had to buy like a schmuck, or maybe I did it wrong, every Elton John till I found it. Then you fall in love with other songs.
Right.
And I was trying to find, okay, so you go, dude, oh man, I'll buy you this if you don't buy it. You were getting me to buy the Sinatra, the Rat Pack in concert.
The three of them.
Yes.
It was Cafe Villa Venice. It was Sinatra, Sammy, and Dean Martin.
So I was in such an awkward position because I don't know, you'd go, I'll buy it for you. And I can't go, all right, Jay, give me $30. I don't know you.
It's
so I said, I got it.
You were looking at the Sinatras, and I was like, if this is really what you like, this is, because not many people knew about it, and they still don't. It was 16 free shows they did for Sam Giancana because he got Dean Martin out of his contract with Jerry Lewis. So they just went up hammered every night.
Right, and they were doing jokes about Sammy.
Yeah, they called him
Smokey. Hey, the colored guy. Whatever.
Smokey the Bear.
Right.
And then Sammy would do impressions of people, like brilliant impressions on the second disc.
I did preface it funny. And
then it was funny and interesting, certainly. And then Sammy would do impressions, like brilliant impressions of like, Tony Bennett. He would do Dean. He did Frank.
Lancaster, things like
that. And then Frank goes, have you noticed he does his people better than he does ours? And then Sammy says, I'm a carbon copy. Like, it's all these, like, black jokes. And everyone, like, it was just freewheeling. There was no human resources. But what's great about it is it's Dean Martin comes out first. And on that CD, live at the Cafe Villa Venice, he goes, you sure are a fine little old lunch crowd. I come out first. I watch you people eat. Then that other Italian and Jew come out.
I know, you could
But he calls them a lunch crowd.
So the thing
was... But think about Dean Martin opening. Like, that's crazy. And Sammy goes last.
Yes, he did go last.
Sinatra, they did two shows where Sinatra closed. He couldn't follow Sammy.
Wow.
So the recording is Sinatra as a middle act. It's amazing.
Well, the thing is, like I said, I didn't have the money I have now. I have money only because I don't have a mortgage or kids, so I could just get lattes and buy stupid CDs. And again, it was awkward because I couldn't go, give me the money. So my honest assessment of that CD...
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. It's like a Cheech and Chong where you don't listen to it over and over. You know what I mean? It's a novelty.
Oh, I listen to it over and over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's What Kind of Fool Am I? By
maybe
Sammy
I wasn't
Davis.
set. I like when he goes, maybe I didn't set the world on fire as a human being either. Wait, maybe I'm not meant to be a husband. You know, I'm a schmuck too. You know, I love when he...
When they're banter, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Well, the second CD, they're just super drunk on stage.
Did you ever see Old Man River? He goes, this is for Sammy's people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all jokes like that.
He does that, but it's not a joke.
Here's what's great.
Sinatra, yeah.
Here's to me what's great about that is Sammy doing "What Kind of Fool Am I" to close his set. It's just I've never heard anything like it before or since. It's incredible. And then Dean Martin. Dean Martin's known for "You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You," but on that tour, Frank did it, and you never hear Sinatra do that song. And Dean's version of "Left My Heart in San Francisco" is so incredibly beautiful. You can actually hear the glasses tinkling from the cocktail waitresses, and some lady goes, "Oh," and he goes, "Oh, shut your goddamn mouth." You wait for that other fella to come out, you yell at him, he'll hit you with the microphone.
Wow.
But he's like, "The windy sea, oh, shut your goddamn, will shine." Like, he doesn't miss a beat. It's amazing. All right, how many shows were you on? If I went to Fred Wolf's IMDb page...
Well, if you went to Fred Wolf's, you'd see...
Fred Wolf.
That's what Andy Dick does. Every time I've been to Andy Dick, hi, so you're doing that movie with Adam Sandler?
If I went to Fred Willard's IMDb page... No, if I went to Fred Stoller's IMDb page...
Well, that's a problem. I get a date, and they look it up, and they think I'm rich.
Well, how many shows?
Because...
let the listeners know.
I think about 70 guest spots, maybe more.
So you've been on 70 TV shows.
Something like that. Well, that's the irony of my career. Like, when I would work with Matt LeBlanc on Friends, he just looked at me shaking his head in wonderment. "Man, you've been on every show. What show have you not been on?" And I said, "I've never been a regular except when I screamed from the black guy and high-fived him for 4 episodes." So it's,
Hey, Sheldon, my man.
Sheldon, my man, and I high-fived
Now, you worked with Matt LeBlanc before Friends on Vinny and Bobby.
Vinny and Bobby.
Now, and you said he was super nice.
He was very nice, but he did taunt me a little bit. I was skinnier than this, and he would do the thing, "Hey, I could put my hand around your arms. Hey." I once got beat up. I have ligament damage in my jaw, and all the jokes was like I was Mr. Bill. The fat guys would follow me and crush me and throw me to the side.
And everybody was like construction workers.
And I go, "Don't hit me in the jaw, please." And he go, hey, Fred, how's your jaw? So he's a good guy.
He sounds great.
Yeah.
This is going back to your acting coach that bled you, and
Yes.
she was obviously a vampire. She wasn't the
Yes.
real deal. Those who can do, those who can't teach. There are actual.
Well, she had an acting career, but then she was in a Laverne and Shirley, and they cut her out because she was too funny, and then she quit. That was the story.
Yeah, that's like every athlete that goes, "Then I blew my knee out." Like, there's never an athlete that goes, "I just wasn't good enough at that level." This is what I love that you wrote. And you wrote this entire book? You never ghostwriter?
No. I had one guy. I had a first version, and a friend of mine, great guy, he's thanked in it, said, "Slow down and tell the story." Any of you writers out there, that's great writing, because they was go, "Hey, I've been on lots of shows." Wait. So he.
You're a great writer.
Oh, thank you
so
much.
And you really write well. Because there's a lot of details in these stories that a lot of people would either skip over or add too many.
The thing is, I've had it for 10 years. I'll go over the chronology later, but it just sat in my computer like, literary agents, we want like the Chelsea Handler, 11 blowjobs a week, or that kind of humor.
So how many blowjobs a week are you giving?
Those kind of the women being racy, and
until they get on this podcast, they don't say a goddamn thing.
Oh yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Norm, did you hear what Norm said? He was like, he said Chelsea Handler performed somewhere at some comedy club, and the guy was really mad. He goes, "She didn't fuck any of us. She did all those jokes." Because I don't get that.
Oh my God.
But what was the question?
I was going to tell you what a good writer you are, and I was going to give an example to the listener. When you finally stopped with the acting coach, this is a simple, quick thing I'll read.
Sure.
I love this. And this, I was like, look, you can see I dog-eared the page. I was like, perfect about acting teachers. Some of you guys are out there actually going to acting teachers, and if it's working for you, great. But for Fred's not a confrontational guy. So for you to break it off, it must have really, this is what I love. Real quick. There was no ugly confrontation when I broke it off. I just stopped calling, and thankfully, she didn't track me down to ask why. I told myself that it just wasn't worth it. I had decided that auditions were also arbitrary anyway. that it made as much sense as paying someone to coach you on how to pull the lever on a slot machine.
Thank you. No
That's
ghostwriter with
amazing.
that. Thank you.
That's exact. There's no rhyme or reason to why you get a part aside from being prepared, which is all you can do is be completely prepared. They either want you or they don't.
Well, yeah, it took me a while because
some people suck. Don't get me wrong.
No. But you're either the guy or not. You could be the greatest actor, but like I said, I'm not going to be in Law and Order as a tough butcher or a DA. I could get all the training, Your Honor. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to look like some red-faced Irish guy. I'm not going to be. I could get all the training. I'm not going to be.
Tried to play.
I'm not
what
going
was
to be
the show?
Dennis Leary as a commander. You mix, get over there. We're going to put out fires, and the coloreds, they don't do shit. I could coach.
What was your Dennis Leary story
me.
You wanted to tell me?
I can't now.
Oh, you can't
you
really?
Just said it's Dennis Leary. Well, I did a show.
What was your story about Dennis Miller you wanted to say just now?
No, I did a show. I wanted to say
Fred Wolf,
they were
tell us your
you're
Dennis
really
Miller
nice.
story.
And the three that weren't nice was Dennis Leary, one of the true truckers of comedy, and Van Morrison. So,
I've never heard a nice thing about Van Morrison.
Have
you?
I always get compared to him. That's my barometer. No. Fred
Moondance Stoller.
In Hollywood, it's so warped that, there was a girl in my acting class. She was a model, but I thought she seems to get me. Turned out she was going out with Nicolas Cage and Kiefer Sutherland. Before that, Nicolas Cage. That's always the chronology. Nicolas Cage, Kiefer Sutherland, Fred Stoller. I dated one woman, and we had 2 dates. But before me, she was at Harry Dean Stanton and Ed Begley Jr. It's just so random. You know what I'm saying? The Hollywood.
That's really random.
Yes. Me, Ed Begley Jr., and every woman's done all three of us.
It is true. My wife, too. It's awkward when you, Harry Dean Stanton, and Ed Begley Jr. come over at the same time.
Yeah.
My wife gets that look in her eye like, uh-oh.
It's just, yes.
I want to ask you, because this was like super crazy stuff as a kid. Your mom wouldn't let you play with army men because she called them dolls. And she sort of like, she almost made you like feel effeminate for doing manly things.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're fucking they're army men, and she's like, you can't be playing with dollies.
They're dolls, and she would throw them out when I went to camp.
And then what would you wind up playing with?
Clothespins. I would take clothespins and make them fight.
And you wonder why you're an actor. Like, this is brilliant. And did each clothespin have a rank and name that you memorized? Did you draw on them?
I kind of knew who they were and stuff, and I'd be sitting on the floor on my stomach. Yeah, like...
You'd sit on your stomach?
I guess. Or
that helicopter, that's not a helicopter, that's applause. After my funny sitting, Matty Boy said, hog-tied. Sit on my stomach, hog-tied.
No, she threw out...
But tell us about your imaginary basketball league you made up. This isn't this fast. Look, I scratched this is the most crazy thing in the world that I'm obsessed with.
I guess I could analyze it now, but I used to take, I guess I'm pre-Nerf. I would take a coat hanger, like a basketball hoop, shove it in the door so it stayed there, and take a ball of socks. And I had an imaginary basketball league, but they weren't like Chamberlain or Willis Reed. They were like, I think I'm ahead of my time because they were autistic. So there was one...
Autistic?
I think so. Because
you made up every single player, and you had an entire league of teams?
Like one guy had just one arm, a black guy, and he would catch... What did I do? Oh, closer to the mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Further. I feel like I'm eating the mic, and he's across the room from it. Okay.
The one story was one guy, I won't say who, he was smoking a cigarette, and they had a Papa Stopper, and he used that as an ashtray. Van Morrison. Can't believe that. Van Morrison. Oh, really? He goes, hey, and he's smoking. So,
it's a wonderful night for a moon dance. I'm a dick to everyone that I meet.
One guy had their names was DeVest, like Jerry West, D-V-E-S-T, and he was like muscular on the top and not.
But you still remember what these guys look like?
Yeah,
How many teams in this league?
I think there was just, I don't remember. I just remember a whole bunch of random players. Like one guy, there was a retarded black guy. I think I always liked misfits, and they had a place to shine. Imagine the imaginary autistic, or you can't say retarded, people and handicap played in my bedroom. There was one guy that he had like a face that didn't move, and And one guy swatted the ball like a volleyball. There's something wrong with it, but it always went in. And he would just swat it, And the other black guy with one arm would catch it. And
Why did the one guy's face?
That's the way he shot basketball. He threw it up and swatted it from all over. Did foul shots. And they all had names, and I don't know why.
Why did the one guy's face not move?
I think
he goes, "There's one guy's face didn't move."
A deformed face, maybe from
But
a
what's
fire.
that got to do? But how? You're the best.
I don't know why.
But out of all the one guy who's like keeps swatting the basketball, I understand it. But what makes you say I'm gonna have one guy? I know one guy on the team, one of the stars, his face doesn't move.
Or I think it was
a psychiatrist
deformed.
would go crazy.
I
breaking this
remember.
down. Have you talked about this in therapy?
Well, no. This is. I remember. Jesus. Wow. I'd love to
what
get
was the
this
guy
on
whose
the-
face didn't move? What was his name?
Globalo. Oh, Erpie was a retarded guy. ERPIE, not Ernie. Erpie. And they were great. Maybe
What was the swatting guy's name?
I think Globalo.
Globalo?
Yeah, like
And Erpie.
Yeah,
Erpie.
I think I felt I was retarded.
Erpie was the, as you put it, retarded black man. And the guy whose face didn't move was Globalo?
Yes. Oh, I forgot there was the vest. Now that I think I'm not that like Jerry West, DVEST.
No, we got it.
No, maybe I think maybe I was not that creative. It was a little bit off from Jerry West.
Fred, this is fucking creative. You don't tap out of me now. You
Again,
asshole.
I don't know why I did it back then, but that's just who I related to. Well, you read the part that the actors who inspired
what was his
me.
name?
Who?
The guy
Erpie, ERPIE.
ERP.
Erpie.
Erpie. And do you remember the names of the teams?
That I don't remember. I think they just were.
You like
I remember
the Knicks?
it's really weird because when you play imaginary basketball, there's a foul. So so you do a foul shot from 3 feet away. Like, how do you differentiate a foul?
And you probably did you announce the games as well?
I think in my head, my mother would just shake her head, and she'd hear jumping up and down.
Erpie from the foul line. It's a 1-on-1 situation.
But,
rims out.
I once saw a black guy.
Rebound Globalo.
A grown man, what like Globalo would look like, not Globalo.
The other one.
I thought. And, you read in my book that the actors who inspired me was the retarded deaf mute from The Last Picture Show.
Yeah.
I would walk around the house with a hat on backwards pretending I was sweeping. And then he got hit by a truck, and I would lie on the floor like I was. So
you really did do that.
Yeah, it's kind of psychotic. Maybe that's why the book's not competing with Jim Gaffigan's. Hey,
Well,
I'm fat.
in all fairness, you didn't know when your book came out, and I had to get a date out of you, and you're like, April, but then they pushed it, and the fact that
they were nebulous. They weren't sure. It's not. I think it's April.
Jeez Louise. We'll let him out in a minute.
This is let me interrupt that story. This retarded thing's not too funny because I used to live on
plus,
Stanley.
You can't keep saying retarded.
I know.
Skyhorse Publishing.
All right, they.
So why?
It's an imprint. I tell you, the other celebrity they have is not Jesse Ventura. Oh, is he the one with conspiracies?
Tell us about Norm stealing your jacket.
Well, when I did Norm's show, this denim. When I saw Artie Lang, he goes, "Hey, that's a great." Well, I'm doing Norm. You know how you do Norm. Someone did Norm. It almost sounds like Bob Dylan. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and growing in the wind. Yeah.
Yeah, Fred Stoller, I saw Norm. It was kind of sad. I saw him. I heard him on Mark Maron's podcast, WTF, and he goes, "Yeah, all these people do impressions of me, And I'm like, "Oh my god, I sound like a fucking retard." And I'm like, "That's not how I sound." And then now every time I do Norm Macdonald at the Melrose Improv, I'm like, "He's fucking here. Watch, he's here, and he's like super aware of the fact." Oh my god, Fred Stoller wrote a book,
And I'm the antagonist, apparently.
I stole his jacket, I was like, "Hey, Fred.
I really need those jackets."
Hey, tell us about that jacket, Fred.
When I did his show, I knew him a little bit, but then he heard that I was playing tennis. Hey, let's go play. So people don't know who Lori Joe is. I don't know how to explain what she is.
His
assistant. And
she was the writer's assistant when I was on Saturday Night Live, Lori Joe.
We joined. She paid for some tennis club right by Warner Brothers. You worked there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You did Jay and Mary?
I think I hold serve, you know. Hey, how's Epi doing, man?
This is how pathetic I am. I fantasized being on this podcast.
Herpy.
And fantasize Jay doing Colin Quinn going, yeah, Stoller's got a book. Him, Leon Roth, and Philip. Yeah, Stoller. That's what we want to read. Philip,
Hey, Fred, why don't you just tell everybody how Norm took your jacket?
just real literature. Oh,
You just
Stoller.
keep going around in circles instead of telling everybody. Jay's like, tell us about how Norm stole your jacket. And it's like 10 minutes later, you're like, yeah, tennis club.
Okay, yeah, I
what
don't
is he
need to
talking
tell.
about?
I don't need to tell a whole
Like
tennis
Yakim
story.
Noah is in the corner going, even I don't like tennis as much. Jesus, Fred.
So basically, all right. Long story short, as the late Warren Thomas would say,
Too
it's
late.
Too late for that. I
like how you credit that one guy, Warren Thomas, like that was his.
no one else.
Nobody,
Other-
no, only people that age and younger.
Well, he's the one who I learned that from. Okay, so Lori would pick us up, and I left the jacket in a car. He didn't go premeditated. I'm going to steal a denim jacket. It looks nice, but I left it there, and I didn't have the money now. Now I wouldn't care about buying Sinatra recommendations, denim jackets. So he said, Norm, I said, Norm, I want my my denim jacket. Yeah, you and that jacket. I go, Norm, it's a new jacket. That's not new. And he just, he would taunt me. I go, Norm, yeah, that's a shitty jacket. So I made, and I was supposed to.
Wait, so why does he have your jacket? I'm confused.
Lori would pick us up and play tennis.
Right.
So, I left it there because it got hot. We were
in
playing
tennis or in her car?
I guess in a car.
And then he just
assumed it was his or
absconded
she
with it,
took
yeah.
it. Yeah, he didn't go, ooh, what jacket, DT?
right,
Like a
but
cartoon.
then every time you asked for it, he just completely downplayed it like
he'd
you were...
go, I'd wave his hand in disgust. You and that jacket.
Fred and his jacket,
Yeah. Why do you want that jacket? So I go,
Really?
Yeah, he was a bit of a bully. He would taunt me. You know what I always say with Norm? He wanted to be like how Stern had, Larry, the mentally challenged guy, because you can't say, hey, Elephant Schmuck, Rippy Boy, and Lori was Robin.
Wait,
laughing.
is this one of your basketball leagues, or is this...
I can't.
This is the expansion team.
That's funny. They can't get on the regular mentally challenged team.
Mr. Rippy and Elephant Schlong.
Well, again, a plug for my book. Why I want the book.
The name of the book, my friends, is Maybe We'll Have You Back, and it's by our friend Fred Stoller. Well, how about this, Fred?
I love people in the D League that go to Europe, that get 10-day contracts. Those are my favorite to root for.
You're the 10-day contract of acting.
Yes. So that's why I'm like...
But now you got a guy like on the Houston Rockets. There's a kid, Patrick Beverly, played in Russia last year, D-leaguer. Gaudelak was on the Lakers this year. He was a D-leaguer. Now... The tide is turning for guys like you.
Yeah, Europe. But yeah, I feel sorry for a guy like that guy in Boston lost all his money. He's in the D League. They're not gonna. Darryl Strawberry.
Fab Mello?
No. What's his name? He talk like this. You did an impression of him. He won a championship with Miami. He lost all his money. Kenny Walker. No, Kenny something.
What?
What's his name?
I don't know.
He won a
championship
Boston.
in Miami.
Yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, he was. You did impressions. Him and Pierce did great on Boston.
Ray Allen?
No, Kenny. Not Kenny Skywalker. Kenny
Anderson.
Something like that.
How did I do an impression of a Celtic?
Well, no. Now he's on. He was on Miami when
but
he
you
won
said
the
I did
championship.
an impression of him.
Yeah, because
when?
they talk like this. A black guy.
Tracy Morgan.
No,
I love the Celtics.
He was
Louis Guzman.
He lost all his money.
I prefer the Heat to the Celtics.
He has a drinking problem.
Mo Vaughn. I don't do an impression of him. Are you talking about Antoine Walker?
Yes.
Okay. I've never done an impression. I've never heard the man speak in my
the last time
life.
I was here. Go to the game tape.
Wow, Fred. The name of the book is We'll Have You Back. Go to Amazon to buy it.
Listen, the Grove and stuff.
Well, yeah, but I don't get a kickback. Look, I'm trying to work both of us out.
Please. Yeah, you're
go,
right.
because this is a digital medium.
Yes.
Right now, people are listening on their computers.
Exactly.
They can just open jmoore.com and click on the Amazon banner, and you can buy Fred's book, Maybe We'll Have You Back. I'm telling you guys, I don't steer you wrong. This is the deal. This book is hilarious. If you really want behind-the-scenes stuff, and this is a friend of ours, Chris Hogue wrote, Hey, JJ, I just bought an Akron tablet headset mount for this weekend when my 310-month-old wife and my 17-month-old daughter and me, 365 months, are making the ridiculously long trip to Columbus, Ohio from Dayton, a whopping 1 hour and 15 minutes, so that my daughter can watch Tangled without being able to touch the iPad and destroy it. Thanks, I couldn't have done it without you. P.S. My sister-in-law's Amazon Prime account so I can get free fast shipping, so thanks to her as well. Chris Hogue. P.P.S. If you read this on the podcast, which is highly unlikely, my last name is pronounced like Vogue, but Hogue. Hey, Chris Hogue, you just got it, my man. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a small publisher, and I had to pay for my book tour. There's a book on tape.
You had to pay for your book tour.
Oh, the book tour was New York. And San Diego, I'm going to be at Warworks the 21st. Of May.
What's Warworks? Isn't that a game room? I'll be next to the Donkey Kong Jr.
It's
what's Warworks?
I think it's a bookstore. It has to be.
Fred, you have to know more than this about your own life. I'm sorry. You can memorize basketball players' names you created, but when I asked you when your book came out, you're like, I don't know. Where's your book tour? Warworks or something?
In La Jolla. And the 20th at the
Why would you name
Meltdown.
a bookstore Warworks?
There, you'll see there is one. I'm doing a thing. This might be interesting. You know, I'm not quite coming back to stand-up, but I'm doing a night called Fred Stoller and the Guest Stars of Comedy, where I'm going to have other guys like Jim Turner, Larry Hankin, or guest star guys like me and tell stories like this, and then maybe they could buy the book and I'll sign it after at the Nerdist Meltdown the 20th of June. I have that memorized.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Warworks is a faucet company. Oh, no, that's Waterworks. I typed it in wrong. Sorry. You are going to be, when are you going to be at Nerdist? June 20th.
Yes.
Okay.
And there'll be other, Larry Hankin, who played Kramer in the show within the show on Seinfeld. He was just on Breaking Bad. I listened to your thing. I disagree about season 5 of The Wire. I didn't like the newsroom stuff. I've listened to you. I hated it.
What was your favorite season of The Wire?
Maybe the school year, but
that was my favorite.
Got so depressed. I don't want to give it away.
It's over, Fred.
No, the people who, like me, caught up last year. But with that kid...
Yeah, but literally it's...
so... Because it was so...
Dookie, Pookie, whatever it is. The smelly one.
The kid that was really doing well, and they firebombed his house.
And,
Oh, goosebumps. I fell in love with Cuddy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Cuddy and that guy that did the Amsterdam. Those... I hate McNulty. He kept getting laid too much. I got tired of him.
You, on Murphy Brown, I don't think people realize the size of the shows you've been on. You were on these shows. It wasn't like they were on their way out and they just brought guys on for fun. Like when you were on Friends, you were the schmucky, as you put it. What were you?
Schmucky waiter, yes.
Yeah. And then you were on Murphy Brown. Murphy Brown was bigger than Friends. There's no show on. Oh, yeah, because it was culturally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Dan Quayle.
Yes.
Like when the vice president.
That was so legendary at the time. An unwed mother. No.
She adopted a kid.
Oh, no, she had it.
Oh, she had a baby out of wedlock.
But out of wedlock, and it was
so. And then
so.
the vice president goes, you shouldn't, like, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, we can't have shows like this. This is crazy.
That's pretty accurate.
This is like Sodom and Gomorrah. You got Candace Bergen, who's deciding to, like, let guys fill her up, and then she's having babies out of wedlock.
Every show is, the WB. My sister, we peed on each other. Or maybe not.
Two gay guys and a kid.
I was ahead of my time where I was a gay guy, an unlikely gay guy, on Suddenly Susan before the explosion of gay guys. I was there was a show, and they had a gay guy in the mailroom. Then they realized, wait, this takes place in San Francisco. There's no gay guys. They said, all right, you, Pete, you're a gay guy. And they had me as the boyfriend. And I remember...
Whose boyfriend?
Pete was a mailman in the thing.
Oh, okay.
And I remember Kathy Griffin was such a pain in the ass during rehearsals. She kept looking at me going, Fred, you're so homophobic. You're not holding Pete's hand. I go... Well, I'm an unlikely gay guy. Maybe even gay guys don't always hold hands. And I go, we were slow dancing. And she kept, like, implementing me. Is that the word? Something.
It'll work.
Yes. But even Brooke says you're homophobic. And I went, well, why doesn't...
Now, had you met Kathy Griffin prior to this?
Oh, yeah, we had a one-night stand. That was in all the things.
What do you mean all the things? What?
Hey,
World Star Hip Hop.
Oh, he doesn't keep out. Oh, sorry, Stoller. I don't
Fred Stoller.
I don't read Fred Stoller's
guy doesn't know his publisher's name. All of a sudden, it's like, I had sex with the fag hag Ginger.
You
had sex with Kathy Griffin.
They leaked something.
Hold on.
Yes.
Who's they? You're pointing to my table. You're like, the people that live in the table that have half an arm that swat basketballs from the free throw line.
I wonder why I didn't make it big when I emulated retarded people lying. No. I want to just say I feel all right. I won't say the word anymore.
You got to tell us about having sex with Kathy Griffin. We're going to be back in 60 seconds.
Okay.
There is nothing instant about getting postage from the post office. Driving there, parking, it's a waste of time. So use Stamps.com instead. Instantly get postage for any letter or package right from your desk. Stamps.com is so quick and easy to use. Buy and print official U.S. postage using your own computer, your own printer. Stamps.com will send you a digital scale that automatically calculates the exact postage you need. They'll even help you decide the best class of mail based on your needs. No guesswork. It's convenient. Take care of your mailing and shipping whenever you need to, 24/7, right from your desk. You will never have to go to the post office again. I use Stamps.com. You should too. Right now, use my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R, for this special offer. $110 bonus offer, no risk there. Includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com. Before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage. Type in my last name, Mohr. Stamps.com. Enter Mohr.
All right, tell me, when did you have sex with Kathy Griffin? How does this happen?
1992. I didn't know who she was. I remember.
That's back when she was a brunette, had crooked teeth. She was a totally different lady.
No, well, she always had curly red hair.
All right, but she wasn't like the porcelain doll we see now.
No. I had seen her. Remember, I get the two Julie Browns mixed up. The redheaded
Downtown,
one.
one's black.
Right, the white one. She had a thing.
What, you get their names mixed up?
Well, if I saw the two, I don't know
if it was Julie Brown or I'm going to say Downtown is the black
one.
Well,
I don't know their names. Who's Downtown and who's Zip Mall or
one's Judy Brown, one's Downtown Judy Brown.
Okay,
so yeah,
all right. The
redheaded one.
The redheaded one did a Madonna parody on Comedy Central. I remember one of the Truth or Dare dances where there's a cute redhead. This is as deep as I get. It's not in the book, but I think what makes us attracted to people is something in our childhood, and we always want that, or if the girl will sleep with us. It's a joke. That's not bad for coming up with it.
Fred, let me tell you something. I've had people come in here and lay turds for an hour where I got to pull it out of them.
Yeah.
You, my friend, hit for power and average. Don't pull the plug. Hey, I'm telling you, don't pull the plug on yourself ever again in my presence. You're too goddamn funny.
Oh, thank you. So basically,
just sin bravely.
I like fiery redheads with curly hair. And I'm going to diverge once.
What was in your childhood that made you think of fiery redheads?
Two things.
Annie?
My mother, Annie molested me. No, my mother, who's not fiery redhead or nurturing or anything, she had people that were her big mother figure. She'd ask my older sister, where should we eat? My older sister had to make decisions. My mother, there was a woman, Eva, with curly, blondish red hair, was artist and fiery and passionate, and would tell my mother, Pearl, it's okay. So she was nurturing, and I just realized Gilda, the good witch of the Oz,
in Wizard of Oz, the good witch, played by Billy Burke.
Yeah, is a redhead, so must have come from there. I had a crush on Vicki Lewis, and I got slammed down.
Tell us about when you fucked Kathy Griffin.
Okay.
Who gives a shit about this?
Vicki Lewis, sorry. And so then I'm at some party, and you know those parties up in the Hollywood Hills where
how'd you fuck Kathy Griffin?
Okay, all right. Let's cut to the chase.
Yeah,
all
as
right.
Buddy Hackett would say, cut to the manhole.
Okay, we had a date.
Explain that on the other end of the story.
I showed up at her apartment. We're trying to decide what to do. Should we eat, see a movie? Then she said, "I'm wet." And so then that gave me confidence to kiss her and bring her down, Now,
what did
Christopher, bring it down.
What did your acting coach say when you went in for the kiss? How many times did you go over with the acting coach?
I have to say...
Did you high-five her vagina with your dick?
After the thing, I did a shameful thing with my acting coach because of Stevie Ray Fromstein. But I'll do Kathy Griffin's story first. So basically...
attaboy.
Okay, so we're... she's wet, and I like... So
yeah,
and so we're doing things. And
did she go down on you?
Yeah, and I think vice versa.
You think?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Now, just this is like stuff Howard Stern would ask, and he's the king of all media. Was she great at it?
Yeah, because she was very nice, even though she was mean to me at first. was nice with the finish at the end, but but in the interim with the finish,
She did a Lutz. What do you mean? Nice? She stuck the landing.
yeah. But,
Wait,
but
so when you were on Suddenly Susan, that was after she had blown
she
you and
was
you had sex
kind
with her.
of an
so-
asshole to me.
But you had sex with her.
Well, in
So she
fairness,
show-
in fairness to Kathy Griffin, I was trying with a condom. All right, and I told. Could I quote a Norm line?
I don't care what you do.
Okay, I said, I'm not good with condoms. I said, I'm old. I was before AIDS was invented. I said by accident. He goes, yeah, the worst invention by Gerald AIDS. That's what Norm said. Gerald AIDS, he invented the worst thing. So anyway, I was trying, and I'm hit and miss with condoms, and I don't.
What do you mean hit or miss?
Meaning sometimes you push, they go, come on, can't you do it? And then so.
What are you talking about? Hit or miss? Like you can't get an erection for a condom?
No, I get an erection, and you go, all right, and you put it on, and you're erect, and I'm like, they can't see I'm acting this out.
No, it's fine.
But then you push, and it doesn't stay erect because the wetness may have went away now that I think of it, because when they're really wet, she was wet at first, but then when you...
I feel like I'm on acid.
The wetness.
This is a total fucking... Not now, not never.
But you
No
know...
way.
You know what I'm saying? When they're really
walkway.
slippery...
Yeah.
condom, but I can't
So she
stay
was
erect when you're
upset.
pushing hard.
So you were
I
come
kind of
see, come saw.
you did things where you try, you rest. Let's try another condom. You try again, and I'm erect. But then after some pushing, so it could be. That's Kathy
Barking in the background.
Joke all right, some of them could miss.
If ever I needed somebody to be a door-to-door salesman, right during the middle of that explanation. So you had sex with her, then you were on Suddenly
I
Susan
guess I'm
with her.
saying not. Yeah, I didn't put. I would have liked to have.
So at any moment, you
intercourse.
could just say to her, like, well, if I'm such a jerk, why did you have sex with me? So she's really being brave about it.
Well, she.
You shouldn't shit-talk people that you let see your asshole.
We were sitting there. Oh, actually, when she's lying on his stomach, naked, and I like looking at naked asses. And I'm looking at him, and she goes, "Stop looking at my ass. I love asses." And so she said, "Stop looking at my ass." She yelled, and then she wanted to hit me in the face because she just saw a TV movie where sounds like they're playing marbles.
Come on, don't stop.
So she saw a TV movie where a woman battered her husband, and she said, "Hey, that's a good idea." She goes, "Could I hit you?" And I'd love to hit men because I saw a TV movie
While you were having sex with her.
No. To be fair, these papers that ran with this article said she wanted to hit me during sex. It was when we were resting. You know.
What papers?
Well, the Huffington Post did a little excerpt of my disastrous one-night stand with Kathy Griffin. Other things picked it up.
You son of a bitch. You wrote an article about your one-night stand with Kathy Griffin, and you're like, I don't know how they got a hold of it.
No. They did an excerpt of the book. This is in the book.
Oh, okay.
And then other people took it as, like Andrew Breitbart, who died, but he has a conservative thing. Mm-hmm. They took it at Kathy Griffin wanted to hit actor repeatedly in the face during sex. It wasn't repeatedly. It wasn't during sex. She just asked
closed
once.
fist, open palm.
No, she wasn't specific. And then I said, "Why?" She goes, "I have hostility towards men." I go, "Why?" She goes, "They rape, they go to strip clubs, and they see porno." And I said, "I only do 2 out of those 3." and so basically, this is. Someone was reading the book, like the galley. I'm learning these words, and then
the galley is when it's a weird word.
Yes,
because it doesn't really make sense, and the process doesn't make sense. The galley is when there's an it's basically your book, but they just haven't put a binder on it. It's literally somebody just sits there flipping pages and just turning them over like they're in the 1600s.
Right.
There's no glue and binder, and they just call that the galley. And it's the final checking everything to make sure everything's spelled right.
This woman was reading the Kathy Griffin part, and then I actually went on a date with her to my birthday, and she was going, "Why am I here? Why am I with these people? I'm usually."
Your date was?
No, Kathy was.
Oh.
And someone asked the question after that disastrous one-night stand, "Why did you have another date with her?" I go, "That's a good question." Yeah, why did I go? And she wanted to leave. She goes, "We're not a couple," and she left. And yeah.
So she was super mean.
Yes. You know what she did that hurts me the most?
But I guess you won in the end because
because I have the
You let her
article.
punch you in the face, and you stared at her naked ass.
Yeah. You know what she did that hurt me the most?
Tell me, love.
Someone from Ruffles or Fritos, I forgot, wanted to do a commercial, and they liked me. They wanted me to play her boyfriend. So I auditioned. Oh, we love you. We love you. Then my agent calls me up, said, oh, Kathy wants a more macho boyfriend. So Kathy nixed me, you know, like, God forbid, a guy she's had basically sex with and this should not, on a commercial, you know what I'm saying? Like, be seen with her in a commercial.
You were on Dharma and Greg?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think yeah, you know, when he did Letterman, his impression, you know who's really great? Greg. You know, Norm doing Letterman.
What was the so Norm took your jacket is the whole story, but
then
it's like a 19-page chapter. You're like, yeah, he took my jacket.
No, other people. But no, that's a chapter about bullies. About like Caroline Ray was kind of a jerk. People on Sabrina. That was a chapter where I stand up for myself. So Norm,
you worked with the chimpanzee in Barry.
Yes,
or his name was Barry.
Yes, there's a chapter about writing on Seinfeld.
That was on Seinfeld, right? Yeah. He's just holding up the times. Don't worry.
Okay. Excuse me. There was actually I got the book because my Kindle single did well, and it got me a book agent. You know, my Seinfeld year, and so you know when you write, Jerry and Larry changed lots of names for some reason, and I had the monkey's name was Mitchell, and I changed it to Barry. All right, that's a better monkey name.
But that happens all the time. Like at the end of Frasier, it'll be Michael is Zippy.
Right.
Like they actually changed the dog's name. It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
People may have seen you on Dumb and Dumber, right?
The phone booth scene,
and you got punched out.
Yes.
Okay. Who was by far and large the absolute biggest asshole you ever worked with? Where you just to this day you lay in bed and go, who acts like that?
You know, I didn't have such horror stories. I had coldness. It was more producers that...
Kathy Griffin?
She was kind of, yeah. She was Caroline Ray a little bit. Not like a diva crazy. I came back first I was on Sabrina as like I was a butler. Then I was Warning
then
Man.
You play like a bellman on like Wizards of Waverly Place. You keep your jobs. You started as a sandwich maker. What were you on Amen? You were a biker.
Yeah, I was 30 pounds skinny in this, and I wore a tank top, and that was the joke that I was on.
I like that you got acting advice by Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Well, that's when I dumped my my acting coach because she gave me all these notes, and I was terrible at the table read. He goes, "Dude, you're much funnier. Just say the word."
The listener should know. The joke is
Caroline Ray wasn't that bad, by the way.
No, she's
she just
nice.
said something.
I've
nasty.
always gotten along nice with
her.
You
nice.
were on Amen, and you were hanging out with muscle-bound bikers, and you're the super skinny, beanpole skinny guy in the biker
I did my
gang.
Thrill Seeker jokes.
And you're like, yeah, I ate an apple at the deli. I didn't even brush it off first. I didn't care. But then your acting coach told you you should be acting macho.
She's like coaching me to be more... She goes, these are jokes. I'm such an idiot. I'm getting my own act. I'm getting coached. These are menacing. I should have said, wait a minute. This is my stand-up act. You're a badass. You're a biker. And I should have said, excuse me, I get the joke.
I wrote it.
I'm an unlikely muscle man. I did something really...
Well, hold on. So you go in and you're on Amen. And then you do, what is it, just a table read? And now you're doing like,
yeah, I'm going to get you. Hey, I'm a tough guy.
But not even as a joke. Like you were actually trying to act like a tough guy. And Ogre, the guy that goes, nerds.
Yes. Tell me to take it down a notch.
Ogre told him to dial it back. But that made you feel good.
Yeah, because I go, wait a minute, just trust your instinct. You know who else helped me?
But it also makes you feel bad because it's Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds making his eye go crooked. You need to take it down a notch.
I remember when I was on Friends, I don't know what I did, but Matt LeBlanc said, she goes, no, too sitcom-y. And I should have said, but aren't we on a sitcom?
Yeah, not to him. When you watch those old sitcoms, and I mean all old sitcoms, I'm including MASH. Less so. But it's amazing how nothing 10 years after it's been on the air, when you go back and look at the reruns, are funny at all. And in like the clothing throws you off, like the weird shirts on old Seinfeld, and everybody has like kind of a mullet, and you're like,
right.
Why is everybody screaming? This is awful. Every show. I will say, with the exception of black shows, like Jefferson, Sanford and Son. To me, those are always funny.
Yeah.
Old, like 70s, 80s black shows.
Well, I grew up, excuse me, watching them.
Drink some water. You sound like Pat O'Brien.
There wasn't, they didn't have this, UPN stuff where black people watch this, Moesha, and white people watch Friends. I love Grady. He was one of my favorites.
Oh,
You remember
Fred!
Grady? I love Grady.
Do you ever listen to Ron?
He could have been
Fez?
a coach in my basketball league.
Yes.
Because there weren't people like Grady.
No. Do you ever listen to Ron and Fez on satellite radio?
Who?
Oh, exactly. So, no.
I don't have satellite.
Ron and Fez were in, it's great. It's my favorite radio show on Opie and Anthony, same channel. Like my all-time favorites.
I was explaining to him on Opie and Anthony, you doing Ricky Gervais and Louis C.K. Louis, you're so funny.
I'm just a fucking guy that's here, and I'm sitting in a chair, and my fucking face and gut, and I'm an asshole that shits after I put it in one hole, and it comes out the other with shit under me, and I wipe it, and I do it again the next day as a fucking thing. Fucking shitty asshole babies. Fucking, I want to be. I can't. It's too loud. I'll wake up the baby if I start doing Ricky Gervais. So Ron and Fez, they were talking about Grady. They said everything to Grady on Sanford and Son was like he was on vacation. Like literally, like, well, you know what? I'm gonna watch me a little television. And he would literally sit down on the couch and go, or there'd be like a sandwich on a plate, and he'd go, ooh.
I mean,
I'm just gonna have this ham sandwich, Fred.
I'm not bitter, but I grew up on shows like Barney Miller, Luke Grant, Mary Tyler Moore, Bob Newhart, where you'd have cast of not great-looking middle-aged people. But then it became, you can't do that.
No.
Now a not good-looking guy is like Tom Cavanaugh, where he's not as good-looking, but he's still a stud. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I love those.
How weird is it when you're working on like Wizards of Waverly Place with like these children that are more famous than the people that were on Friends are? Are they crazy people? These like
I have to say they were
kids?
really the craziest was
the parents.
Yeah, and sorry, I had water. The craziest, the water didn't help. I used to do a voiceover job. Fred, eat an apple. When you were your voice was crackly, but the actually Dom DeLuise's son and the
Peter,
not Peter.
What did I say?
John DeLuise, David DeLuise.
David DeLuise is the Anglo father of an entirely Mexican family. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's David DeLuise who looks like me, and then Selena Gomez and 4 other Mexican kids and a Mexican wife.
He's just walking around with his cell phone trying to get the next deal, and neurotic, smoking a cigarette. And they had the, what's it called? Not the Fresh Air Fund. The kids dying, the Make-A-Wish, and it's sad. And one person had every
So the Make-A-Wish Foundation is at Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah, these kids love... They love Selena, and I never was on a show that had it till Latin Fran Drescher, and you see kids dying, their wishes to see these people, and you're blown away. Then you have to rehearse it, and it just tears you. Were you ever on a set where they had the
no kids dying wishes to see me? My kids dying wishes. Can this show get canceled? Gary, was it in season 1? He was.
They were in the wrong studio. Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy. My wife, when she was doing Unhappily Ever After, they dimmed the lights for to bring the cast out. And this is like when you say great in the book, maybe we'll have you back. The people who don't understand, they actually bus people in from Venice Beach, tourists and convicts, because you get paid per audience member.
They throw Hershey bars at them.
But you go, hey, do you want to go see the taping of a sitcom? You just think half hour, that's good, I'm in. And what you don't realize, it's 5 hours long, and it's brutal, and it sucks, and it takes forever real quick. So my wife comes out, and it's Unhappily Ever After, and literally Jeff Pearson goes to speak, and somebody goes, when the lights come up and they realize what it is, they go, oh, I hate this show. Like clear as a bell, and the whole audience laughs.
Oh my God. I would do some guest spots, and they're like 4 hours, and sometimes you're in the first scene, and then they go, Fred, we're signing you out. You could wait for the curtain call. You don't get any overtime. And you're always scared that, I want to be in with them and back, and you think they're going to remember favors. So you're doing the curtain call 5 hours later, and they forgot who you were.
Yeah.
Here is Jeffrey, the guy in the beginning who brought a package in. Fred Stoller. Who? The 7
And you
people
literally
left.
went, I have your package.
Yeah.
I just need a signature.
Yeah.
I just need it. You say, I just need a signature 4 times, and you leave. Because if it's 5 times or 6, to pay you more money.
Right.
You get into all this. This is a great book for behind the scenes and people that really want to know a guy that has worked in show business. Not be in show business, but has worked in show business and has had sex with Kathy Griffin. So if any of you out there ever tweet Kathy Griffin, just make sure you tweet her, how's Fred Stoller?
She actually mentioned this on the talk, and she was nice. She goes, I had a lot of sex with a lot of people in the 90s. Fred Stoller's funny. I don't remember hitting him in the face.
I didn't know that this was like an article that people talked about.
Well, I guess it was big in my world when you're Google News. What's it called?
Google Alert.
Google Alert. I got to stop that.
Why?
Because sometimes you'll read, hey, my review of this guy's a pussy.
What was I didn't know you wrote a short film.
Oh, I should bring it. Fred and Vinny. No, it's a real film.
And it was a full length.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about this. And when I was looking through the book, there was a chapter about it.
Fred and Vinny.
Yeah.
I
That's
brought
the
you
name
a copy.
Oddly, that's the name of the chapter.
Yes.
And what is this movie? Where do people go if they're listening to
Netflix streaming, or it's even in some video stores or Amazon. But if Netflix streaming, it's free if you pay for it. You're just streaming. But it's a true story. I describe him as the adoring parent I never had, because he was agoraphobic and he lived vicariously through me. If I went to a video store, he thought it was amazing, or a post office, oh my God, get out! And then he came to stay with me, and it was a little sad and funny. And
you didn't really explain his story at all.
Yes, I did. He was the adoring parent I never had. Vinny, Fred and Vinny.
It's a guy you knew from the neighborhood?
No, he's from Philly. But I'm not from. He actually tried stand-up, and he couldn't take it.
So you were a grown-up when you met him?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was a phone friend for years, and I'd call him anytime, day and night. I was at the bakery. Get out! Oh, my God, was it crowded? Anything I did was an adventure. It's a film.
To him or to you?
Well, to him, and he lived vicariously through my adventures.
And it's called?
Fred and Vinny.
Fred, I don't think you did a very good job explaining this movie.
Well,
and I want to go back, and I want you to explain it again.
Okay.
Because
everyone knows
I know what it is, and I want you to explain it better. Because you glossed over it super fast.
Okay.
Because, the guy that directed Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice, Paul Mazursky,
liked it.
That's high praise. When he says it's a heartfelt gem of a movie.
Yeah.
Like, you got good praise for this
thing. We were in the Austin Film Festival.
I was just to say Austin Film Festival.
We won something there.
This is a really cool thing.
Oh, no.
So you just kind of... I want the listeners to know what it's about, because I thought your description of it was sort of haphazard.
Okay. How do I describe it better? Okay, it's a character piece. And I'm me, and he comes... I can't. It's like a love story, but it's not. Meaning a friendship where I can't wait for him to come to L.A. He's going to come to L.A. and try to be an extra, and he said he's going to rotate with other people.
Well, right there, I think you nailed it. You got a friend that you're saving a spot for in L.A. He's coming to L.A.
to be an extra.
That's his dream. You guys dream low.
Yes. Again, look at me,
it's brilliant.
The mentally challenged guy lying on his face, and his
clothespins.
Well, no, he had he had a very specific dream where he'd get on a set as an extra, charm Bruce Willis, and then Bruce Willis would put him in movies.
Fred Stoller dishes on sex with Kathy Griffin, Radar Online. Fred Stoller, my disastrous one-night stand with Kathy Griffin, Huffington Post. Fred Stoller excerpt about reveals bizarre details of one-night stand. You know what I realized all these have in common, Fred? They all came out either April 18th, April 25th, when your book came out, and they were all written by you creep.
No, I didn't.
It's not like
cut and paste them.
It says right here, Fred Stoller dishes. That means you said it.
But I didn't call up different places.
Google alert. What I told them to write, they wrote.
No, other people saw the Huffington thing and ran with it. I'll tell you, I have the worst publicist. One wanted it when they read the Norm chapter.
Yeah.
He said, I got the thing, bullies are big. And he wanted me to go on a tour with other bully victims.
And Norm was your bully?
Yeah, so...
I'm going to put you in a headlock, punch you in the face.
Hey, Norm, why don't you get off Fred Stoller? He's a good man.
How about when I typed in Fred Stoller on Google search, what came up was Fred Stoller net worth. Do you want to take a guess what it is?
They don't know.
I know they don't because I've looked up my own.
Well, was it right or wrong?
No, it's way off.
What's my net worth?
Fred. Well, that's not a picture of you. Were you born in 1958?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fred Stoller, celebrity net worth. Fred Stoller.
They don't know.
That's what it says right here.
They don't know my net worth.
Tell us a story about another woman you had sex with.
Famous or... I slept with the woman from... Oh, he's saying no? Oh, the woman who was in the Hot for Teacher video, but maybe she lied.
What?
Yeah.
Little girl from Cherry Lawn, how could you be so bold? I did not know that golden rule. The bikini lady?
Well, this is the thing.
Or the substitute teacher in the background?
Well, it might have been one of the background runs. She was bragging. She goes, Wayne and Garth did their countdown of the hottest ladies, and I was on it. But I slowed it down. That's not, the other one. So I think she was one
What's
of the
this
other
game show you
teachers.
did where Sarah Silverman came on board?
Game show?
The Gate
Show.
Sorry. With Fred Stoller. Sarah
Yes.
Silverman, Comedy Central web original.
I tried doing this thing where I had a show called The Gate Show where I'm a delusional host, and I think I have a talk show, and I work at a Hollywood guard gate booth, and when celebrities pull in, I interview them.
That's a very funny idea.
And I did 4 of them, and she did me a favor, and I did something. God, she's so nice, but I'm so intimidated by her.
Why?
I don't know.
She is so nice, by the way.
She is so nice.
I will say that emphatically. She saved my life. She got me to the right doctor when I was having a panic attack.
Wow.
Very well documented on this program.
She did me a favor. I kind of got her mad a little bit. I did something ignorant.
What?
Well, I
just kept saying retarded over and over again.
No, I wrote a script, and she got annoyed that I waited to the last minute to send it to her, saying, you were just trying to get me on the set, and you were hiding. All right. The joke was I tried to get her to do a sex tape with me to get internet buzz.
On the Gate show?
Yes. That was the
Which gate did you use? What lot let you use their gate?
There was the one...
At the Palazzo? An apartment complex gate?
I did this thing, I think, somewhere on Oceanside Boulevard or something.
But it wasn't like a studio. It wasn't like Paramount.
No, these guys built a guard booth, and we did a few of them. Yeah, that's like thousands of dollars. And then I stored it, but then I never did more episodes.
Why not? This is a great, especially now.
I
you got the book. You slept with Kathy Griffin. Strike while the iron is red hot.
I know. I got who do you pitch to?
Barry Katz.
Okay.
Fred's got this thing. It's a Gate show, man. You come in from out of town, I think I can get you on the Gate show. It's on the internet.
Saget came, right? And he's a great guy, but very neurotic. Do you know that?
Yes.
And so he was like really nervous, saying, I don't want to use my car when I drive through. I don't want anyone knowing what my car is. It wasn't anything distinctive like the Schnecky mobile that bounces up and down. It says Bob. I mean,
Schnecky.
I don't know. I can't think of examples so good on the.
Don't worry about it. I just want to know more names of your basketball players.
And
review them for me.
It's so long ago.
Just say the ones you said already. One guy had a frozen face.
DeVest,
Irby.
Globalo.
Hold on. Irby had a frozen face, right?
Yeah.
He was deformed.
Globalo, one arm.
Globalo had one arm, and he kept whacking the ball like crazy. What was the mentally challenged black guy?
Seveick.
Seveick.
That was someone else. I forgot. DeVest.
That was the black guy that was retarded.
Yes.
Okay.
And
were you coach as well?
I was just living through them. I would go, hands it to Globalo, shoots, catches it. I think Connie Hawkins did that, where he caught it. He caught the ball with just like a sock, maybe.
Connie Hawkins made his way into your league.
Yeah, but
is that a promotion
I
or a
stole
demotion?
from him. Well, I stole from him.
But did he play in your league, Connie Hawkins?
No, he was a real player.
I know that, but in your imagination, was he like a free agent signing?
No, these are guys that couldn't play anywhere but
you created an entire world of people that were stranger than you.
It's like Field of Dreams.
You could lord over them.
That would be I always had the idea for a movie like Field of Dreams where they all come back and, I'm getting goosebumps. I'd love to see these guys again.
You're basketball guys?
Yeah.
I think we all want to see these guys again, at least in animated form.
Yeah.
We might, you know what?
I love Fat Albert.
That's the animation we have to do.
By Fat Albert because they were sort of like mentally challenged. These guys, and the guy with a thing on his face.
Yeah, Dumb Donald.
Fat Albert.
Dumb Donald.
Yes.
Yeah, Mushmouth, Dumb Donald, all those guys.
Yes. Now you'd have slick guys. Let's do the jiggy, and charm everyone. Who did I want to? I want to finish some story.
It was Dennis Leary.
No.
Norm Macdonald, Kathy Griffin. Norm stole your coat. You were on
something.
Friends. You were on Dharma and Greg.
I had this one publicist. I was supposed to go to Philly, but it turned out there wasn't a book signing, and she thought it'd be funny for me to run up the steps where Rocky did and film it. Go, what does that have to do with my book? Oh, it's funny.
That's what everybody does in Philadelphia. Yeah. That was also on Ron and Fez. Name a did I finish Ron and Fez thing that I was going to say even? Who knows?
When I was just in New York, this woman, she's kind of manic. She wants to try to have fun. She found the steps where Louis runs up in the beginning, and she goes, come on, it's fun, run up.
4th Street Subway, yeah.
Yeah, and she'd run back down like it's a ride and do it again. I go, I'm not going to do it.
You were on Jim Brewer's show.
He's a great guy.
I've noticed, this is what I've come to realize. In my life, I'm 42 years old, there's not a comedian alive, that includes Carlin, Pryor, Robin Harris, Cosby, anybody, that has made me laugh harder, more uncontrollably, longer, and in different ways than Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer has made me laugh like a fucking mental patient more than anybody alive.
And he's sweet.
He's so sweet. But when he's just telling stories about going to a Metallica concert, gone. Like he hits something in me.
Well, you heard he had a great Norm story about taunting Chris, what's his name? I forgot his name. Man, I'm old. Where you can't think of names. The guy, you have rage, because you're gay.
Chris Titus?
No, on Saturday Night Live.
I don't. Chris Kattan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And listen to his great story of doing Norm taunting Chris Kattan. Right.
So your story is about another guy that has a story about a guy who has a story. That's what you're going out on. That's your closer
I know,
here.
I've been quoting.
Hey, Jim told a story about Norm, who had a story about Chris Kattan. You should ask him about it. That's your fucking big. That's your story.
Wow. Yeah, I don't have big endings, but yeah. He again. You know what I get mad when the people are great. Instead of going, Rob Bartlett's a great guy.
Wonderful man.
Wonderful.
One of the nicest guys. One of the hardest working. Rob Bartlett is in like the choir or in a Broadway show.
He got me on Imus without asking.
And then he does Don Imus.
Then he tried to get me on Opie and Anthony without me asking. Artie Lang, what a sweet guy.
Artie, a legendary episode of this podcast was in my hotel room in New York with Artie.
Oh, I listened.
They brought up pots of coffee, and you could tell who the two addicts in the room were. My wife's just sitting there relaxing and smoking. Artie and I are having like a coffee contest. It wasn't until like 6 cups in where we realized, oh, why don't we just slow it down and actually just relax?
Yeah.
Oh, he had a great Norm story.
When he's,
he had a great story. He was opening for Norm in San Francisco, and Norm goes, hey, we're in San Francisco, so don't do any of that fag shit, And he's like, what? And he goes, San Francisco. There's a lot of gay guys here. They live here in San Francisco. So just when you go up there, don't do any of that fag shit. And Artie's like, all right, like didn't plan on it. And then Artie does 20 minutes. Norm goes up and goes, hey, what's with this AIDS? They say it's like the worst disease in the world, But I saw in the news today, AIDS does not discriminate. And that's nice.
Oh, no.
So I don't know why it's so bad. Hey, don't do any of that fag shit. So maybe if Norm was on the set of Suddenly Susan, he could be like, you're a homophobe. You're not holding Maddie's hand. You're just on the wrong shows with the wrong
he
people.
He would taunt me, go, yeah, look at Stoller.
I can't believe you were bullied by Norm Macdonald.
Why don't you believe that?
Because Norm is just like the unicorn. Like nobody really has conversations with Norm, let alone.
He would kind of, I'm
going to kick your ass, Fred.
No, not threaten to beat me
up. Me and Billy Joe Shaver.
not threaten to beat me up, but just kind of like
teasing you a lot.
I know you're at the end, but him and Cato were friends, and they would just be
him
assholes.
And who?
Cato Kalin, the biggest piece of shit.
So Cato
you didn't watch the
Kalin?
whole Artie thing. We talked about it.
No,
yeah.
I didn't. I fell asleep. It was on late. That's not because you were boring. I mean,
him and Norm were best friends. He was Norm's lifeline.
Hey, Cato Kalin.
They were friends.
So
and they
Cato
would play tennis.
Kalin would heckle you too?
Well, we one time Cato and Norm played tennis, and I got a flat tire, and they were driving, laughing at me because I was on the side of the road. And Cato would kiss up to Norm,
but they didn't stop to help you with your.
No, they stuck their heads out the window, and were laughing as they drove by.
What jerks!
Yeah,
you should go on Norm's podcast.
Well, I did.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
well, you don't need my help at all, do you?
No. Yeah. And
was it fun? Did you bring up the fact that he bullied you? Or were you afraid because he was a bully?
I was a little afraid that I'd get busted, and about the book. But he goes, I don't care. Norm didn't care. Yeah, I go, I said, Norm, I have to be honest. You're in the book. And I said something. He goes, I don't care. I went, okay.
These early pictures of you, you really look like you could have been in the Ramones. I know you fancy yourself like the nebbish guy, or the parts you play at least, and your stand-up act certainly lends itself to that. I will say this. You absolutely...
I was so skinny.
Tell me that couldn't be Joey Ramone.
But
not Joey. Joey looks like a special guy. Tell me you
couldn't
couldn't be a Ramone.
But
that looks like a Ramone in Queens right there.
You could be skinny and be the brooding animator, the cool
Let's make sure that photo makes it to the Tumblr page.
You could be the cool
at
goth guy. When I remember I asked out the ugliest girl. She had Brillo hair, pack mark. I'll say her name. I don't care. Cindy Ness. And she said, maybe, screw her. She said, maybe if you gain 15 pounds, you're too skinny. Anyone else with overcompensating skill would go, I'm going to go to the top. I asked the unattractivest one first. She said no. I figured no one would want me.
But then you fucked a girl from the Hot for Teacher video, Fred. You're a winner.
But that was many years later.
Who gives a shit?
But in high school, I was traumatized.
Look, Action was a long time ago. I still trot that out if I need a little attention in a crowded place.
Right.
Who cares how long ago it was? She's the teacher from Hot for Teacher. Hot for Teacher,
teachers.
not meh for teacher.
You friends with Dave Higgins?
From Higgins Boys and Groove. Friendly, not friends up.
Okay, if you see him, ask him, because he was there when I had to drive her home, and he came with me. And so he met her, and it was a funny story.
Well, why are you saving all these funny stories for another time?
Because I think...
you go, hey, Dave? He's a funny story.
Oh, no, he once...
Can you get him on this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling another story. Kathy Griffin had a party just to meet men, and she just invited all men. And so then the bell would ring, and Dave Higgins would go, he'd run to the door. Yeah, more dudes. I hope it's more dudes.
She really just had a party to meet guys?
It was all men.
Like, how did she take him in a back room?
She just was hoping. She didn't want any competition. So every time the doorbell would ring, Higgins...
How long ago was this?
I guess many years ago.
Many months ago?
Yeah. And when the bell would ring, Higgins would run, I hope it's another dude. Yeah.
What do you think your shot is right now, you and Kathy Griffin? Do you have a better shot with Kathy Griffin or with Brooke Shields?
Please. No.
You got to pick one. Call your shot.
Who I want or who I think I can
who do you have a better shot at having sex with?
Oh, there's a 0-0 with Brooke Shields.
Play a game with me.
She's married to this hunky...
They're both married.
...millionaire. Who's Kathy Griffin married to?
Oh, some guy.
No, I'd say I have a better shot at Kathy Griffin than... I think I have no shot...
Who's your dream woman?
Who?
Your dream woman.
Quirky, nurturing. Not Susie Kurtz. She was mean to me. But I
Who?
Do you know who she is?
Susie Kurtz?
Do you know her?
Is that who you said?
Yeah.
You said Susie Kurtz, and somehow I took out Swoozie Kurtz from it.
Remember I used to like the fiery redheads with curly hair?
Yes.
She was on Suddenly Susan. I was at a Christmas party.
Swoozie Kurtz was.
She comes up to me. She goes, you were really funny on Friends. I go, thank you. I started talking. She goes, that's all I wanted to say. Then she walked away.
Who's your dream woman?
Sweet.
Not characteristics. We want names, Fred.
Well, I used to think...
Hopefully someone on Twitter.
I used to... man, I'm stuck now. You know who I love? You know who I have such a crush on?
Irby.
I only have crushes on people who, if I think there's any realm in the world, like your wife... Oh, I shouldn't say this. People like that.
Fine.
And not hot because I think there's no way in the world. Like I could never look at Playboy because I think so. I only think what's in my realm. That's why I think Sarah Silverman. She's gorgeous, but men like her because she seems like attainable, even though she's not. She makes you think. Like Aisha Tyler is gorgeous, but it's almost model gorgeous. So to me, that's not sexy.
Who's your dream woman, Fred?
I got a crush on the woman on Portlandia.
What the fuck does that mean?
But she wouldn't want me because she seems like she has flaws and is
What's her
cute.
name? Look it up real quick.
She's a less attractive...
I'm tweeting her right now.
Janine Garofalo. You mean celebrity crushes?
No, the woman from Portlandia. Who is it?
Carolyn Bornstein or something.
Jesus, Fred.
But
you pick a more arduous name to look up on Twitter.
But she's
Is that
really
really
her
name? Hold on. Is that really her name?
I think so. She's hot, but not in that...
Caroline
Bornstein?
Caroline?
She was getting me mad because she's
Fred.
She's funny.
We're trying to help you here.
Okay.
Caroline, Caroline.
Caroline Bornstein, I forgot.
Jesus Christ, Fred Stoller. If you didn't have such a great goddamn book and you weren't such a great comic and a funny friend, I'd put you right under the arches. Portlandia.
I don't have crushes anymore. I'm too old.
Listen, I'm not asking if you're a crush.
There's a woman.
No, we got.
That's not her. That's not her.
Who is that, Matty boy? Carrie Brownstein?
I don't.
You should. What do you mean you don't? Enough of this shit, Fred.
That is not her.
That is her.
No.
Look here, please. Now, is that her?
Yes.
Carrie Brownstein. You said Caroline Bornstein. Carrie Brownstein on Twitter. Is she on Twitter? Because we're going to hook it up.
Don't embarrass me. I don't.
No, I'm not.
She's a cool Portland rock chick.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you a serious question.
Oh, you want to hear Andy Kindler's summary of my book?
I don't really care what Andy Kindler has to say.
Chapter 1, I'm nervous. Chapter 2, what if they don't like me? That was funny.
Do you really think I would embarrass you in any circumstances whatsoever?
No, I don't.
Carrie Brownstein.
No, she's a rock guy with Fred Armisen.
She's a rock guy?
Rock chick.
I'm trying to put this together, damn it, Fred.
No, there's no celebrity.
Fred,
I read it
let me tweet.
Chopra.
I'm doing more stories.
No. Oh.
Listen, can I please finish my sentence? I want to tweet. I'm recording more stories with my friend Fred Stoller right now, who just said his dream woman is Carrie Brownstein.
Okay.
Is that fair enough?
That's fair.
All right. Now you're thinking I'm going to embarrass you. It's a whole thing. We usually do an hour. We're in bonus content right now.
To make up for the fact that we're the last.
All right, Fred. If you're going to do Colin, at least do it the right way.
I can't do anything.
Why is it Carrie_Rachel? That's what I don't understand. What kind of Twitter name is that? Carrie Brownstein.
I like.
That's not a real name. Her real name is Carrie Sipowicz.
There was a woman who's a rock.
But this is her. This is her, right?
Yeah.
Portlandia.
You know what?
And Fred, your Twitter name is Fred Stoller.
Fred_Stoller.
All right. Recording. All right. This is Riveting Radio.
You know who else I have a crush on? I met Mary Kay Place from Mary Hartman. But do you know who she is?
Yeah.
She's not on Twitter anymore or anything.
She seems a little older than you.
Yeah, but I liked it if I think they're attainable. I want a woman who's thrilled to be with me. Thrilled.
Who's your last girlfriend?
Crazy people.
All of them at once? You remember Bruce Smirnoff, our good buddy?
Yeah. I based my Seinfeld episode on him.
Really?
He gave me an Armani suit. He goes, I outgrew it. I'm muscular. You give me a meal, we're even. We went to Jerry's Deli. He had soup and a soda. He goes, I'm going to save the meal for another time. And it was $20. So that was the episode, What Counts as a Meal. Do you remember that episode?
I do.
Yeah, it was Smirnoff who did that.
He has one of the best jokes of all time. He goes, every woman I meet is crazy. It's like a Jack in the Box. That's when
I meet them.
That's when I meet him. He goes, I moved to L.A. because it's artsy-fartsy. I got an apartment on Vermont. I sit at Pollo Loco and I eat. They arrest people on the street. Dinner and a show. Your book, it was great, and I recommend everybody to go to Amazon.com and buy it. And in June 20th, you're going to be at Nerd Melt.
Yes.
That's like the hot place now.
Yeah, I'm going to do a show called Fred Stoller and the Guest Stars of Comedy where I'll tell these stories, and there'll be all other character actors like me telling behind the scenes. Larry Hankin, I'm trying to get Steve Agee, guys that, or the perennial guest guys like me.
And June 20th is a Thursday. Well, that's great. That's great. I'm fired up about it because I like Nerd Melt too. I like it up there.
Oh, you've been there?
I have not, but I just like the whole vibe of it. Justin Willman, the magician, was on this show, and he does a show up there, and it's just Nerdist is kicking ass. So I'm fired up about it.
I'm excited about it. I want to do this. Maybe it's a way to ease back into stand up where I'll sell the books, and you
did stand up with Steve Buscemi.
Yes, I did. We started.
Tell
together.
everybody what his closing act was.
He used to take his shirt off and make muscles. And
which could have been if you thought of it, you could have closed with that too, right?
He did a politically incorrect joke. Maybe you'll edit this one out.
No, how about we just not?
Okay.
How about we just
a bad word?
Huh?
You know the song "I'm a Wanderer"? I'm the type of guy because I'm a rapist. I'm a rapist. All right, edit. No, you can keep that.
We edited like 4 of Fred's stories out because they were just. Yeah, that one
Yeah,
stays
no,
in.
Buscemi,
But you were quoting other people, in all fairness, the things
yes,
you took out.
no, I never.
I don't want people to
I'll
get the
tell you,
wrong
could
idea
I tell
of
you
my
something
friend.
about my act and black people? I never even said the word black guy in my act, even if it wasn't offensive, because I never wanted in Long Island, in Levittown or Huntington, the one black guy to feel self-conscious like he's talking about me. So even if there was nothing derogatory, I felt funny saying a joke about black people because I always felt he's going to be, looking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I tweeted the thing about Carrie, whatever her name is, and someone immediately wrote, tell Fred he's lucky to have had Norm Macdonald bully him. How is Norm's podcast, Fred? Cheers.
I'm like you.
What
I don't
happened?
read comments anymore.
What happened? No, I read comments all the time. What happened over there that this person's like...
People did that Fred versus with me.
Why are people talk... What happened on Norm's podcast? Anything weird?
No, I thought everything was good.
All right. No response from Carrie Rochelle yet. We're doing this in real...
Please. I don't want... She's not gonna. She's a cool rock chick
tweet
in Portland.
Look, one more. I'm going to tweet Carrie Rochelle.
But that's
Seriously,
not her
Fred
name.
Stoller... No, but that's her Twitter name.
Oh.
Fred Stoller, fuck Kathy Griffin. What makes you so great?
Oh, no.
I just hit send.
No.
I just hit send. I can't take it back. On my phone, I can undo it, but I can't undo it on my laptop, Fred.
No, all right. As long as she knows I didn't send it.
No, I put you at Fred_Stoller.
You can't send from me.
I just did. Look, that's from you.
You sent it from me?
Yes, Fred Stoller. I fuck Kathy Griffin. What makes you think you're so great? Well, you know what? You're either going to close the deal or make a new enemy. Fred, I would never send that. Or did I? Fred Stoller, the book is Maybe We'll Have You Back. Fred, I will always have you back on this
Thank
podcast.
you,
You have lady glasses on. We're going to take a picture of it and put it up on the Tumblr page. Where did you get those?
At Target.
You got them at CVS?
Yeah, because you only go by the number you have. It's limited. I need 175s. And only ladies have bad eyesight.
You are just turning into an old Jew right in front of our eyes, Fred. And you're our old Jew. Don't change a goddamn thing about you. You are amazing.
You know what I realized?
Don't let Pearl break you down anymore.
One time Andy Kindler responded to something on Twitter, and someone said, the first and most annoying guy is talking to the second and most annoying guy. And I go, what's annoying about us? And I realized, we're Jewish. So Jewish is synonymous for annoying.
I don't think that's true.
Well,
but what do I know? I'm a Catholic.
Yeah.
I think annoying is annoying with annoying.
But people recognize you're that annoying guy. I don't think I'm annoying. I'm just nervous.
I don't know anybody that thinks you're annoying.
Oh, people.
They think you're sweet. But you play characters that are like, are you done with that? Because you're good at doing deadpan real well.
I don't know.
Look, let me tell you something. When a black guy walks into if I'm watching TV, and I'll close the podcast with this, because this is important. And this is how far we've gone towards political correctness and away from funny.
Right.
If I'm watching a sitcom and you work at a deli and you're making sandwiches and a black guy walks in, you hear that bell on the door, dling, dling, and you look up and a black guy walks in and you go, ah, and you jump under the counter, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Could I say one last thing, then I'll let you go?
Hold on. You wouldn't laugh your dick off if a black guy walked in?
I gotta find that tape.
9 o'clock. Yes, please.
I have that tape somewhere.
Again, send it to Matt. You guys will exchange it, but we'll put it up on the Tumblr page
One last
at
thing about
jmore37.
political correctness. In some ways, we're more politically correct where, you don't say things like, hey, Oriental or something. But in some ways, it used to be more politically correct because they'd always have mixed racial gangs in Death Wish. Now, at least on TV, it's, all Asian or Latino gangs. They used to have, remember, like Welcome Back, Kotter?
Nick DiPaolo said that great bit. He goes, what's with every sitcom? It's like, it's like, I'm doing Colin for Nick DiPaolo. He goes, what's with every sitcom? It's like 8 black guys and like their one white friend. That's realistic. What you don't see is the white guy after he goes to sleep, he wakes up behind the house with a brick in the back of his head. Jesus Christ.
Next time we'll talk about The White Shadow, my favorite show.
One of the best shows. I just saw Ken Howard. He came to my show at the Improv on Melrose. Howard.
Whenever there was a problem with a kid, he would walk to their house in South Central.
Yeah.
Go, Mrs. Washington, Jerry's not doing good. Like
I always like that that's a show where there's too many white guys. You're like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Goldstein.
Why Salami here? And Goldstein. This is in South Central. But Ken Howard was just at my show at the Melrose Improv. I do it every Tuesday night.
I love The White Shadow.
Never played basketball a day in his life. Isn't that great?
Really?
Yeah, it really bummed me out to hear that.
I love that show. He was a sensitive, caring guy.
That show should be redone.
I bet they do it. Ice Cube and
You be
Chris
Salami,
Rock.
and I'll be Ken Howard.
A 50-year-old high
You
school
just keep
guy.
getting held back. All right, Fred Wolf.
Thank you, Fred Stoller. Fred Wolf again. It's better than Geechee Guy. I get that a lot. I get that. I love their hand grenade joke. You know who Geechee Guy is?
Yeah, but what's the hand grenade joke?
He used to go, my jokes are like hand grenades. You toss them. It takes a minute.
Where is he now?
He lives in Vegas. And he opens for someone. He's got something nice going.
Your first paid gig, Jade Fountain Chinese
Paramus,
Restaurant.
New Jersey.
And they actually serve poo-poo platters during the show?
Mm-hmm.
You were on The King of Queens.
Yes.
Everybody loves Raymond. This is great. Here's a picture of you and David. You were on Friends. You were on Dumb and Dumber. You have your own movie, Fred and Vinny. My Name is Earl. But most importantly, you hung out with Selena Gomez.
Sweet lady.
Yeah?
Oh,
Did you ever meet the Biebs?
She was texting, and you see Justin pop up, and I wanted to look over, and she's complaining to a friend, and a friend is going, don't read into men, and just knowing that, and I'm like the invisible, like, maid, with the bellman hat, they're talking in front of, like, Justin, and I just love when a text would come in, and you see Justin, and she goes, and her friend's going, don't answer him back, don't, make him wait, so it was really...
Never say never. Whenever he broke up with her, all of a sudden, I'm going to say 4 months before she's as big as a house. I think she eats herself right out of town.
Nah, she's...
The Biebs, you can't cut ties with the Biebs. Justin Bieber breaks your heart. That's different than a regular heart.